Hello, beautiful people. I hope you are doing well wherever you are. I am the ACCA tutor, Mr. Jerome, and in this first lecture, I just guess this is the opportunity for us to know each other. I'll be your tutor throughout your journey in studying this ACCA module, that is business technology. All right, and I'm sure you have accessed the syllabus that is applicable to you. If you are writing anytime before September 2025, the syllabus is also available online, and we have uh, sent you the current syllabus which you are going to use to assist you in studying this important module. Okay, and the thing is, you're not going to walk alone. You always have your tutor by your side. All right, so in this brief video we are going to discuss or explain some of the concepts which might be challenging, as well as giving you a detailed overview of this precious module, so that you understand where you are coming from and going. So feel free anytime, any day to contact your tutor whenever you are stuck or whenever you feel like chatting with him. As long as it is business, everything will be fine. Okay, so the lecture will be centered on business organizations, stakeholders, and the business environment. We need to appreciate this so that we get a solid foundation of this module going forward. Like I said, my name is Jerib Timkulu, as can be seen on the screen. I'm an ACCA member. Actually, I'm now a fellow of the ACCA, and I'm a graduate of the Chartered Governance and Accountants Institute in Zimbabwe. I am a holder of an MBA, an MCOM, a BSc, and MA. I am a registered Oxford Brookes University member. All right, so that's me for you. All right, so I just hope that we are going to enjoy this study journey together. Without your participation, the study journey is going to be a success. So we need to have a two-way communication whereby you have to be very, very active or proactive. And on my side, I'll do the same. All right. Like I said, please feel free to contact me. Do not hesitate. Whenever you face a challenge, I will be there for you. This is an online school which is very flexible. If you are having tight deadlines, maybe because of your work schedules, please just get in touch with the tutor before the due date of an assignment, because the method of operation we use is that every week you're going to have work to do until your examination. All right, this is normally a 10-week program, which means in 10 weeks you should have finished the syllabus, and then we dedicate a month or less in revision. All right, so we need to be on our toes. We need to finish the syllabus as early as possible. All right, guys, thank you. Without much ado, let us get straight to the business of the day. Now, business organizations and stakeholders. The learning objectives, the purpose and types of business organization. By the end of the lecture, we need to be able to define what business organizations are, all right, and explain why they exist, why are they formed, describe common features of business organizations, outline how business organizations differ, list the industrial and commercial sectors in which business organizations operate, identify the different types of business organization and their main characteristics, from commercial, not-for-profit, to public sector, non-governmental organizations, and cooperatives. Then, on stakeholder management, We are going to look at stakeholders in business organizations. We need to define what a stakeholder is and explain the agent's relationship in business and how it may vary in different types of business organizations. We need to define internal, connected, and external stakeholders and explain their impact on the organization. Identify the main stakeholder groups and the objectives of each group. Explain how the different stakeholder groups interact and how their objectives may conflict with each other. Convey the power and influence of various stakeholder groups and how their needs should be accounted for, such as under the Mendeley matrix or framework. Excuse me. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are our objectives for this week. We need to be able to accomplish these by the end of the week. Are we together? Now, let's define what an organization is. An organization is a social arrangement which pursues collective goals, which controls its own performance, and which has a boundary separating it from its environment. So, we need to break down this definition so that we understand it. A social arrangement. We are saying a business, an organization is a social arrangement. Social arrangement simply means that it involves interaction of people to people. Okay, so it's a setup that involves people. If an organization is formed but we discover that there are no persons attached to it or people involved, then it cannot be an organization. All right, so it should involve the interaction of people. Then, which pursues collective goals, which means this interaction has got what is called some goal congruence. An idea that by the end of the day, we need to achieve similar objectives or we need to share a common vision. All right? There should be some common purpose towards our existence. Then, which controls its own performance. So, in this case, we expect that for one to be called an organization, it should have some power to control its activities. We don't want a situation whereby one claims that they are a separate organization, yet there is some voice on top. There is somebody external who has got the power to influence what they have to do, what they have to eat, how they have to pay the salaries of their employees and so forth. So it is simply mean that what we are seeing as an organization is not actually an organization, maybe a sub-organization. But for one to be called an organization, they should have their own rights to exercise their discretion, to exercise how they do their work, how they perform, how they measure performance, and so forth. Right? So there should be an aspect of control. Or let me just say some autonomy. They should have some autonomy. They should be able to say a word, right? To say something, to say no, all right? We don't want that, all right? In that case, we can safely say you have got control of your own performance. Then, which has a boundary separating it from its environment. If you look at a company like, for example, Chicken Inn, all right, I don't know where you guys are, but it's a fast food outlet. All right, there are a lot of fast food outlets. There is in Zimbabwe we have got Chicken Inn. There is what is called Chicken Inn. I'm just using them as an example. There is also Chicken Mart or something like that. There are so many. Okay, what's the name of this other one? there's Chicken Inn, Chicken Mart, and oh man, Chicken Licken. There's so many, all right? There's so many. And I'm sorry for those I've forgotten. I'm sorry, it's pressure, studio pressure. I'm sorry, you guys. It doesn't mean that you're not good. You're good. Everyone is good out there. All right. So these organizations, when you approach their stores, there is a sense of identity that actually comes over you, where that actually tells you that now you are in the territory of KFC, you are in the territory of Chicken Inn. Okay, why? Because they might do so, or they might be able to influence that outcome, maybe because of the way they have labeled their buildings or painted them, or maybe through their placards, through the paintings and so forth, or the chicken, the arrangement of their lounges. Okay, the tables and so forth. There are a lot of flyers around the shop, all those things, and the way they dress, the way they do their meals. Okay, there is some sort of recipe differentiation that makes them different from other shops. All right, so it's actually even easier to notice that now this is now the ZRP, the Zimbabwe Republic Police. This is now the Zimbabwe National Army. Through the way they dress, the way they do, they set some certain boundaries, and even the way they do their services, they are even different. They might all be called, uniformed forces, but even if they are all uniformed forces, you can actually tell that now this is now Zimbabwe National Army, and this is now the Zimbabwe Republic Police, and this is now the Zimbabwe prisons. Are we together? So there is a boundary that actually demarcate, that differentiate them from their peers. Are we together? So an example of an organization include a multinational car manufacturer, for example, Ford. Okay, Ford Motor Corporation is an organization. A local authority, like for example, Wange local board, or the Bulawayo City Council, or the Harare municipality, and so forth. Those are organizations. It can be an accountancy firm, like for example, Ernst & Young, Deloitte and Touche, or PwC, or Grant Thornton. All those are organizations. It can be a trade union. Okay, for example, the Zimbabwe Congress of Trade Unions, or it can be a charity like the Oxfam, and an army. An army, for example, the Zimbabwe National Army, or the Kenyan Defense Forces (KDF). All those are organizations. Are we together, ladies and gentlemen? Good. Now, features of organizations. The common characteristics of organizations are as follows. A. Organizations are preoccupied with performance and meeting or improving their standards. Like I said, organizations usually have people who are oriented towards a common purpose. So the day-to-day hurdle of an organization is to ensure that it has met its objectives. By the end of the day, they are worried about how they are performing. Are they anywhere nearer to achieving what they are standing for? All right. Then organizations contain formal documented systems and procedures which enable them to control what they do. All right. Although people complain of this bureaucracy that is attached to organizations, it is that bureaucracy that makes them unique, that makes them, what they are. Without that documentation or documented system, then they might cease, or they might be distorted. They might lose their identity. Are we together? Good. Different people do different things or specialized in one activity. There are so many functions. There is marketing, there is finance, and so forth. Each individuals do what they know best. All right.